There is a marketplace growing silently in the background that has the power to take down Etsy. In this video, let's talk about the pros and cons of this secret marketplace. What's up, everybody? My name is Dave. Welcome back to the channel. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I do new videos all the time on Etsy and e-commerce. So what is the app that I'm actually referring to? You might even have the app on your phone right now. I'm referring to the Shop app by Shopify. They've been silently pushing it onto people's phones for a while now. If you've ever noticed when you purchase something in a store, it says track with the Shop app, and you always think to yourself, well, at least I have always thought to myself, why the heck am I going to use this app? I can just use, USPS.com or track the package through the carrier's website. Well, they've been using that to get it onto people's phones because actually, to some of your surprise, there is an entire marketplace with all of the Shopify stores in existence on this marketplace. You can opt out of it, but you might have noticed it inside your Shopify store if you're a seller. If you've received an order and it says Shop app or made with the Shop app, it's coming from this marketplace that you can purchase anything from any one Shopify store in existence. Now, it is in its adolescence, and I will talk about some of the cons in this video, but I'm going to cover some of the pros first. Number one is this marketplace is going to be huge. If Shopify plans on building this out to be a real competitor to some of the other marketplaces such as Amazon, Etsy, eBay, etc., then it has the potential to be a giant. Shopify is a massive company with with the trillions and trillions of stores. So the fact that all of these stores can automatically add themselves and their listings to the Shop app marketplace is huge. That immediately gives Etsy a run for its money and will inevitably force Etsy to improve. That's why I'm making this video, by the way, because there are so many competitors to Etsy that, with some of the concerns that Etsy faces throughout the years and right now, for example, counterfeit items, drop shippers, etc., Etsy getting diluted from the essence that it was once created from, handmade and digital creators. So something is going to happen, and that is either going to be competitors forcing them to change or Etsy just becoming irrelevant in the midst of all these other marketplaces. And I don't see Etsy becoming irrelevant anytime soon. And I don't see Etsy wanting to silently fade into the shadows without trying very hard to continue to be relevant because they're a big marketplace. So they're automatically adding all of these Shopify listings to this Shop app marketplace. A lot of Shopify owners don't even know that their listings are on it. That's a different story, but it is really cool that they're added automatically. Most people don't know about it, but in the future, people will likely know about it since Shopify's been building it out so much. They've been pushing it silently. So what I think is that they're going to grow this to something really large and then improve it and improve it. Because right now, the search engine, they say that it's shopping powered by AI because there's a little chat bot on the side that helps you find your items. So that tells me, the ranking system isn't as sophisticated as Etsy's. So they will have to build out a sophisticated algorithm to rank different items. Maybe that's why they have an AI bot so they can kind of sift through it and not really worry about ranking. I will say the AI bot is not very smart right now. I asked it to bring up a specific brand and it said that it didn't exist. And I knew that it existed, but it claimed that it didn't exist. I showed it the link and they said, oops, sorry, guess it does exist. So it's in its infancy big time. However, if it grows, it's going to be a giant Etsy competitor. So the next question that we want to talk about, obviously, this is an Etsy channel. Should Etsy sellers sell on Shopify because of this marketplace? And the answer is yes, but there's a pivot point in your Etsy career of when you should move to Shopify. You should sell on Shopify if you have a following on social media that you can send your traffic to. Otherwise, you will be stuck with only running ads. Otherwise, you in the beginning when you start, you don't have free traffic right off the bat, and that as an Etsy sellers, most Etsy sellers are extremely used to that free traffic. So when they jump over to a standalone website, they're in kind of shock that they get zero traffic and they have to work for it. So unless you have a social media following that likes you, you should not move to Shopify just yet. Build social media, send it to your Etsy store. Then, once you have a following and you're seeing good traffic coming from the content that you're creating, then you can create a Shopify and monetize that traffic. Once you monetize that traffic, you can do things like upsells, collect emails, and etc., which is much more powerful than simply running an Etsy store. So, yes, you should sell on Shopify. And if you want to start, you can check out the link in my description to start with $1 a month for 3 months. I am a Shopify affiliate. You don't pay anything extra and you get a free $1 trial for 3 months. So, who should sell on Shopify? If you're an Etsy seller, you have to have a social media following. And if you don't have a social media following, work on that, which does require you to practice content creation. And this is another topic that we can talk about. With content creation comes relevancy. You have to have a relevant audience to create content to entertain and sell to the people. Some Etsy stores, it's almost impossible to have a social media website. For example, this is the biggest example, is a print-on-demand store that sells absolutely every single niche. It's going to be hard to gain a group of followers that want to see you spam them with every single niche in existence. So those types of stores don't really need social media. And if you are moving to Shopify as a print-on-demand store with a million different niches that you sell to, then just run ads to those products. But that's one example of where it's really hard to have social media if you're selling in absolutely everything. What you could do is sell to maybe one or two niches that are related. Then when people come to their store, if they happen to be interested in those other niches, then they can buy those products. But that's the biggest example of where it's really hard to create content for an Etsy store that sells absolutely everything. So, in summary, Shopify app gonna give Etsy a run for its money because it's been silently growing in the background. What are your thoughts? The AI bot, you can go to shop.app right now and check it out. It's in its infancy and there's absolutely everything on there. But moving into the future, I do believe that it's a good platform to be on because they're silently growing, and if they do want to take this seriously and be a competitor, they have all the Shopifys in the world at their disposal. So that's huge. So let me know what you think in the comments and have a beautiful day.